I never would have thought I was talking about Amazon as a competitor to Oracle. And it's much smaller, software business is much smaller, database business infinitesimally smaller, but coming on and gaining market share. And I wonder what you make of that. SQL Server also doing better than it has in the past in database in terms of market share. And I wonder what the effect is on your core database product.
Let me give you a view of the business a little differently than the way we've just been talking about. If you looked at our database business across our support business, our license business, and our database as a service cloud offering, our database business in the quarter grew in totality, and my guess is also gained share. So our database business is very strong, regardless of where actually you place the database. Now, from an infrastructure as a service perspective, there are going to be things we can do on our infrastructure with our database that nobody else in the world can do.
Google, Microsoft, Amazon.
Nobody. So whether it's clustering, security, performance, any of those things that you would like to do with a sophisticated database like ours, nobody will run the Oracle database better than Oracle.
And do you think that's why you're seeing that sort of flywheel effect where the growth is getting faster even as this business gets bigger?
I think it's actually going to go bigger. I think if we were using a baseball analogy, I wouldn't say this is the first inning, I would say we're still in the dugout. I mean, we're just about to come out. This is going to be a huge growth business for us.
So as we see this business growing here, one of the characteristics of Oracle for a long time has been very, very strong margins, both on a gross basis, obviously, but on an operating basis. One of the things Amazon's been willing to do with their overall business is to go to very low margins. Now, we haven't necessarily seen in web services, but I wonder if you're willing to get into price wars with these guys, if you're willing to try to take market share now because you are still in the dugout.
Well, A, we're going to be very aggressive in price. B, we've got inside that being aggressive in price, it's also about cost. We happen to bring to the cost equation all of the pieces. We have a hardware business, we actually have an operating system business, a database business. All of that IP is with us, so our cost base is actually materially lower than almost everybody else.
Why is that?
Because we own all the components. So that IP, we don't have to go out and buy the database from somebody. We don't have to buy the operating system from somebody or buy the hardware from somebody. We have a lower fundamental cost base. And we also have scale. So when you add those together, we think we can be extremely competitive. But it isn't, Corey, just about price. It's going to be about those other things that I described. It's going to be about availability. It's not helpful when you go down in the middle of the day. You have to be available. You have to be secure.
Who went down in the middle of the day recently?
I don't know. It's what I heard that.
It was Amazon, I think.
Somebody. And so but it doesn't matter who it is. You can't go down. You know, you have to be available. You have to be secure. You have to be able to drive performance. Some of these databases, Corey, run companies. I mean, they run not just companies, they run core processes. So they have to be secure and they have to be performed. Nobody will run the database in the world better than we will on all of those dimensions.
So that's going to give you the tool to keep margins healthy.
Yeah, and we have several advantages in the core technology that we think gives us a heck of an advantage.